cats, museums, buildings, letters. Any speaker of English will tell you that the ending s added to a noun indicates that that noun is plural. That is, the word cats refers to more than one cat. Buildings is more than one building, etc. Some English nouns have irregular plural forms, such as child, children, leaf, leaves, syllabus, syllabi, etc. Unlike English, that basically has only one ending s to make most nouns plural, Russian has 4 different endings to indicate that there is more than one of something. To make a Russian nominative noun plural, one of the following endings is used: I, a, or ya. Russian also has a number of irregular plural forms that I will address later in this video. Before we discuss how to select between the 4 possible endings to make a nominative noun plural, let's briefly talk about when to use a nominative plural form in a Russian sentence. Most commonly, nouns in the nominative case are used as subject in a sentence. For example, студент работает. Now let's make it plural. Студенты работают. Собака спит на диване. Let's make it plural. Собаки спят на диване. Nouns in the nominative singular and nominative plural can also be used as part of a predicate. For example, Чайковский – композитор. Let's make it plural. Чайковский и Рахманинов – это композиторы. Or, я студент. In plural, Аня и Катя – студентки. Another construction that first-year Russian language students usually learn early on in their studies is the expression of possession «у меня есть». In this construction, the item owned is expressed by a noun in the nominative case. For example, «У меня есть журнал». «У него есть компьютер». In these 2 examples, the person owns just one of the items in question, magazine or computer. Hence, the nouns are in the nominative singular. Well, if there is more than one of an item in someone's possession, you will need to use nominative plural. For example, «У меня есть журналы», «У него есть компьютеры». Here, I would also like to address a common mistake made by many beginner learners of Russian. Never, ever, ever use nominative plural of nouns after any numerals. This is a common mistake of English speakers who are used to saying 3 cars, 5 cats, 2 sisters. In Russian, nouns that follow numerals require special grammatical forms or special cases that you will learn later as you work your way through mastering Russian grammar. Well, now that you know when you can and cannot use nouns in the nominative plural, let's take a look at the endings. As you recall, earlier in this video, I said that there are 4 possible nominative plural endings: I, a, and ya. In order to choose the correct ending, you will first need to look at the noun in its nominative singular form. That's the form that's always listed in glossaries and dictionaries. You will then need to remember that endings I and I are used for masculine and feminine nouns. Endings a and ya are used for neuter nouns. So now let's figure out how to distinguish between I and a and ya. Plural endings I or I are used for masculine and feminine nouns. If the noun in the nominative singular form ends in a consonant, and this of course applies to most masculine and a handful of feminine nouns, it most likely will have the ending I in the plural form. For example, ресторан – рестораны, магазин – магазины, бар – бары, журнал – журналы. If the noun ends in one of the following consonants, k, g, h, ch, zh, sh, or sh, it will follow a special spelling rule, often referred to as the 7-letter spelling rule or spelling rule number 1. The spelling rule stipulates that after these 7 letters, one cannot write I and has to use I instead. So if a noun happens to end in one of these 7 letters, its plural form will have I in the ending. For example, универмаг – универмаги, банк – банки, парк – парки. If the noun ends in soft sign or y, the plural ending will also be I. For example, писатель – писатели, лошадь – лошади, преподаватель – преподаватели, музей – музеи. With y or soft sign at the end of the word, make sure to drop these letters before you add the plural ending e. If the nominative singular form of a feminine or masculine noun ends in a vowel, the first thing to do will be to drop the vowel at the end of the word and look at the consonant at the end of the remaining stem. Once you see what letter is at the end of the stem, you can follow the same rules that we have just discussed. That is, if after dropping the vowel, the remaining stem has one of the 7 letters, the plural ending will be e. For example, let's look at the word kniga. So we first drop the ending a, and we look at the remaining stem knig that ends in a g. G is one of the 7 letters from the spelling rule number 1. So the plural ending for kniga will be e, and the complete plural form is kniги. Same will happen with библиотека, библиотеки, аптека, аптеки, кошка, кошки. If you drop the ending vowel of a feminine or masculine noun and the stem ends in any consonant but one of the 7 consonants above, the plural ending will be y. For example, папа, папы, улица, улицы, школа, школы. Let's now move on to neuter nouns. Before you add the plural ending, remember to drop the final vowel of a neuter noun, o or ye. Then, if the neuter noun ends in an o in the singular form, it will have the ending a in the nominative plural. For example, письмо, письма, окно, окна. If the neuter noun ends in ye in the nominative singular, it will take the ending ya in the nominative plural. For example, здание, здания. Just like English, Russian has many irregular plurals that need to be memorized. Here are several examples of such nouns. Брат, братья, друг, друзья, сестра, сестры, ребенок, дети, человек, люди. Lastly, there are some Russian nouns that don't change endings in the plural or in any other form for that matter. For example, кафе, кофе, радио. Let's sum it all up. Nouns in the nominative plural are most commonly used as the subject of a sentence or as a part of the predicate. Never use nominative plural after a numeral. Masculine and feminine nouns in the nominative plural have the endings y or e. E is used in nouns that end in soft sign, y, or one of the letters from the 7-letter spelling rule. Neuter nouns that end in o in the singular will have the ending a in the nominative plural. Neuter nouns that end in ye in the singular will have the ending ya in the nominative plural. Always remember to drop the feminine ending a or ya, neuter ending o or ye, as well as soft sign and y before you add the plural ending. Keep in mind that Russian has many irregular plurals that need to be memorized.